Hey, what's up? John Sonmez from SimpleProgrammer.com. So I got a comment on a video I did. I did this video about, let's see what it was here. Focusing on growing yourself will change your life. That's funny. I got a Ty Lopez commercial with the, let's see if you can see this here. When I went to the video with a bunch of hot girls in there and some book. This guy is a marketing genius. You love him or hate him. I did a video on Ty. I think I like him. I don't know. I think he's doing his thing, right? We're all got to do our thing. At least he's doing something in the world. So many people hate on him, but they don't know half of what he knows. So, and he's making good money. He's helping people. Anyway, don't want to belabor that, but. Anyway, so that's a video. You can check out that video. And on that video, I talked about growth, about personal growth, focusing on that as opposed to focusing on things. And there was an interesting comment I thought I would read. And this is from Taylor Jordan. He says, "What's your opinion on people who use this philosophy of welcome all experiences to engage in something they know is toxic? I catch myself doing this from time to time. Like currently there's a girl at work who sits about 10 feet away from me. We're both really into each other. And half of me is like, don't do it. What if it fucks up? But the other half is like, if it goes wrong, this will be a lesson." So this is interesting. I mean, obviously I could do a whole series of videos about this topic of, what did he say? Like, if it fits my macros, welcome all experiences. I think that's what he called it. What's your opinion on the people who use the philosophy of welcome all experiences to engage in something they know is toxic? I think there's two sides to this. I think there's some people that are doing the whole welcome all experiences because they're lazy, because they just want what they want, because they're not focused on growth. They're focused on the opposite. They're focused on hedonistic pleasure. Nothing wrong with hedonism. Well, maybe there is. There's nothing wrong with pleasure, but focusing on it as your primary goal, that's an empty path to follow. It doesn't lead anywhere, and you're never going to get enough. So I think a lot of people are doing the welcome all experiences in order to get away with whatever they want to do, not the things that are going to cause them to grow. But I think that philosophy is valuable when applied correctly, right? And maybe it's not all experiences, but it's all experiences that could benefit you. It's opening up to things that you might not have considered before and giving them a try, not necessarily saying that I'm going to change my mindset and I'm totally going to believe this thing, but it's like, hey, I'm open to having this conversation, or I'm open to trying this thing. It's realizing that if somebody likes this, there's probably a reason why, and I could discover what it is. Now, that doesn't mean that you succumb to peer pressure, and that doesn't mean that you're influenced by people that are bad influences and just do whatever. It doesn't mean that you're at a party and someone's like, hey, have you tried cocaine? And you're like, well, yeah, I'll just try cocaine. Again, maybe you want to do that in your life. I'm not judging you if you try cocaine, right? But what I'm saying is, does it fit your principles, right? I joked from the bodybuilding, the kind of, lifting community of if it fits your macros, because that it's a similar kind of mindset, right? It's not about whether something is good or bad. It's about, is it consistent with your own set of principles and your own plan for personal growth, the direction that you want to go. Because in life, things are either going to take you forward towards the direction that you're trying to get to, or they're going to take you backward. Very few things are neutral in that respect, and it's up to you to figure those things out. And so where you're going, your direction in life, may be this direction, and maybe experimenting with psychedelic drugs might be along that line. Maybe you're some kind of artist or painter or whatever it is, and that makes sense for you to do. But probably it doesn't. Probably it doesn't, right? Especially if you're watching this channel, if you're a software developer, probably it doesn't. Again, I'm not going to judge you. You can go ahead and do that. You're free to do whatever you want. I'm not going to apply moralistic judgment here, not on this channel, because I don't believe in it. I don't believe that that's useful or helpful to you, but I'm going to apply some logical judgment, some common sense here, right? A lot of people say, John, what you're saying is just common sense. Yeah, you're right. I'm just reminding you of what you already know. That's my job. But what I'm going to say here is that you got to weigh it out for yourself. There's too many people that shut down and they only see their way of thinking. And they don't welcome all experiences. They don't welcome any experiences. It doesn't fit their model, their mode. It has to be this way. That's not good. That's not going to help you. That's not going to benefit you. That's bad, right? Because you're going to miss out. That's how I used to be, right? That used to be me. Oh, I got it figured out. Oh, I know it. This is the path. I'm walking this path. And I'm not listening to any kind of yahoos or woo-woo shit that's out there, right? Now I'm that yahoo woo-woo shit guy. Fuck it. Right? But that's what happened. But somewhere along the line, maybe I wouldn't say that I welcomed all experiences, but I was able to accept or tolerate all experiences. I was able to say, look, I've got something that I've kind of figured out here, and I want to grow. I want to figure out stuff I don't know. I want to take in some things and see some things and adapt pieces that work, and pieces that don't, maybe I'll reject. But I'm going to grow through that process. I'm going to hear out the other side. I'm not going to be closed-minded anymore. I'm not going to do like random stuff that I know is bad for me, right? Because you don't learn from it there, right? That's the other thing, is like when people use that excuse, when they say, oh, whatever, it'll either work out or I'll learn from it. Not if you purposely make a bad decision. You don't learn from it. You already know the shit, right? So how are you going to learn from it, right? If you already knew the decision was bad and that it wasn't good for you and it wasn't aligned with your purpose and it wasn't aligned with your mission and it wasn't going to take you where you wanted to go, and then you fuck up and it didn't work out and you knew it was going to work out, you didn't learn anything. That was just stupid. That's just being stupid. But if you said, man, I don't know about this. This is kind of risky. It's making me feel uncomfortable. I feel this could help me. This could be like, I should give this a chance. It might not work out. And then it all goes to shit. Well, then you learn something. Then you dissect it and you say, okay, well, that didn't work. This is why. Maybe I'll try that again, or maybe I'll never try that again. And you learn something. So I think that's the difference. So I'll take this, and like I said, I used to be very closed-minded and not willing to do that, but I started to realize that there's more truths than the ones that I have access to at this present moment, right? And that as you sort of grow, you sort of can incorporate more and more information, and you realize that there's a lot of smart people out there that believe different things than you do, and you don't have to necessarily believe what they believe, but you can take some wisdom from it. And I think that's the key. That's more of what welcoming all experiences is about. It's about realizing that there's things that you don't agree with, there's things that don't fit your model of life, but there's still wisdom in them. There's still something to be learned from them if they align with your path. If it's not just you making an excuse to derive some hedonistic pleasure, right? Again, not that you can't ever enjoy yourself, but I'm just saying that if that's your drive and you're using this as an excuse, well, then you're abusing this philosophy. You're not a subscriber. You're not a student to this philosophy. You're just a douchebag trying to get what you want. It's fine. Just be honest. At least have a philosophy of being, screw it. I'm going to do what I want, and I'm going to seek pleasure, and I'm going to do whatever fits my macros, and that's how I want to live my life. I want to have fun. Fine, but be honest about that. Don't try and fit it into a philosophy that could be valuable to someone in their life. And so I'll tell you, my friend with Taylor, with your specific situation, I don't think you're anywhere wrong. I mean, yeah, coworker or whatever. It doesn't sound like you're worried about like the coworker part. Just do it, man. Just like take a chance. Like there's nothing bad that, like, as long as you're coming into this with a level head and you realize the risks, man, that's the kind of risk. That's where I would say welcome that experience, because what have you got to lose? I think that there's something holding you back, and it's fear, and that shouldn't be the motivator, right? Fear is the motivator. That's not a good motivator. But anyway, great comment, good question. I think this is just like a really important distinction between this philosophy. People have this philosophy and they abuse it. People have this philosophy and they use it correctly. You know, how do you know the difference? And like I said, to summarize it all, I would say the difference is, does it fit your direction that you're going? Do you know that it's at least going to have the potential of growth, or do you know that this is a screw up and just an excuse? And if you know it is, then don't do it. Don't use that excuse. Just be honest, right? Being most real as possible, honest with yourself as possible, is always going to produce the best result, because that's the only way you're going to change the universe. It's the only way that you're going to change your universe is by being honest with yourself. If you can't be honest with yourself, you have no power to affect any change in your world. All right, that's it. If you like this video, subscribe. I'll talk to you next time.